that's really hard to say. I mean, we do like it when legendaries stick around longer than normal items. I mean, they definitely should do that. But it's always tricky to balance exactly how far out it goes. It sort of depends on where in the expansion cycle we are relative to when the next expansion will come out, that sort of thing.
Thanks.
This is Ecolian from Arthas, and basically, I originally liked the idea that you guys had of lowering the talents, but now I've kind of noticed I really hate the fact that there's no uniqueness anymore. Everybody's going to be the exact same number of specs or number of talents for marksmanship for marksmanship hunters, and they're going to put the same amount into survival. There's not going to be any difference. There's no uniqueness. So I was wondering if you were ever planning on going back to extending it and giving us more options, and it's just kind of become more noob friendly. I was wondering if you guys were going to do that.
Damn noobs.
Do you think the older, deeper talent trees, people actually had specs that were that different from each other?
They didn't.
We know. We looked. Now, like I said, it's a new design. It's an ongoing thing. We want to make sure there are choices to where you can go deeper, you can go sideways. Those last 10 points you get to spend are some of the most exciting ones in the tree because you decide you're going to put them all in one tree, you're going to put 5 here, 5 here. We'll get there. We'll see what the kind of specs develop, and hopefully we can tweak things to where there's not the obvious choices.
There were definitely cookie cutter specs before this change, and there are likely to be some specs that end up being a little bit too cookie cutter after, and we'll just have to fix those specs individually.
Well, I was just thinking because like some mages used to run with like Frostfire, like half would go into fire and half would go into frost, and that was something that was fun for players. So I'm just saying, like, we can't stop halfway and then go into the next tree. We have to go all the way down and into the next. So.
Yeah, I mean, there's some inaccuracy there. Nobody really went half fire and half frost. They pretty much always went mostly fire and then, some frost. Otherwise, you were kind of gimping yourself a little bit. So, yeah, we did take away some ways for people to gimp themselves.
Thanks.
Sup, I'm Squeak from Destromass. Shout out to my friends in the guild. Nah, I'm straight bra and I'm full of chocolate. Anyway, down to serious business. I'm wondering, right now, Ret Paladins and Arms Warriors, they used to have the talent to reduce duration of disarms. They don't anymore. So they're kind of stuck getting a weapon chain for PvP. And I'm wondering if that's intended and if maybe, because rogues can have offhand weapon chain and then berserking or whatever in their main hand, and they get that nice buff every once in a while, but warriors and Ret Paladins don't. Is that just what you want, or are they going to have a little more damage so that it's kind of even, or what's the plan for that?
So one of the things we did in the talent tree overhauls is we got rid of a lot of the kind of anti-crowd control measures. We felt, I say this a lot, we felt we were in an arms race where, okay, I have a disarm, and then he has something that makes a disarm worse, so then the new talent gives you an even better disarm that doesn't apply to that like anti-disarm thing, and it just keeps getting out of control. And we thought, let's just go back to when you crowd control someone, most of the time it works, and we have diminishing returns for PvP, and balance it around that. And make sure people can't die within one crowd control. You shouldn't be, you're not going to lose the match because you were disarmed for a short period of time.
Thank you.
Hi. Do you intend to make anything besides heirlooms account bound, such as titles, mounts, or achievements?
Certainly, wherever it's appropriate, we do like doing that. Account-bound items are really cool for sure, because we know people level up a lot of alts. We do have to, things that are not character power oriented are definitely a higher chance of having that done, because, obviously it's not going to break somebody's leveling experience if we give you like an account-bound mount or something like that. So it is something that we'd like to do. It's just a question of when and where.
Many of the archaeology items are actually, they're not heirlooms, but they're account bound, so you can trade them around to your different characters.
The same thing with the new guild mount. The guild mount is account bound as well from the new guild leveling system.
I would like to ask for a closet.
Something similar to a keychain. We've got all these wonderful festival items and Midsummer Night and all that stuff, and no place to put them.
Yeah, that is actually something that we had hoped to get in with Cataclysm. It's really more of a question of resolving data storage and exactly what the interface is and all that kind of stuff. But it is something that we'd like to do at some point.
Thank you.
What I'm interested in is how excited you guys are to play World of Dresscraft. It's awesome.
Well, I have kind of a lore request. The Horde currently has two very shoutable, very good battle cries. And I'm wondering, when the Horde shouts for the Horde, what do I say? I'm wondering if you can give some character somewhere some good thing to shout back.
Have mercy. You know, we've experimented with a slew of battle cries, and nothing has ever quite matched up with For the Horde. It's hard. But when we find it, you'll know.
We'll keep trying.
Yeah, we're going to keep trying. We're not giving up.
That's not the battle cry. We'll keep trying. That'd be fun.
Thanks.
Hi, I'm from Legions on Lightbringer US 38, and my question is in regards to Mastery. You stated that you wanted Mastery to dynamically change up your gameplay, and how does, say, a Warlock or Mage Mastery, which is just a flat damage bonus, change up or affect their gameplay?
It's not so much that we want you to dramatically change your rotations, it's that crit has a very clear purpose. Crit makes you hit harder, makes you heal harder, so it's throughput. And sometimes in the case of healers, we need mana savings too. And then haste lets you do more things. So if you're a caster, you're casting faster. If you're melee, you're getting more resources. So then mastery then makes you better at what you do. So if you're a disciplined priest, it makes you better at shielding. If you're a warlock, it makes you better at shadow or fire damage. Or if you're a mage, arcane, frost or fire damage. So the hope is that there isn't one right answer, that you might want crit for some builds and haste for other builds. You want a little bit of everything. We're not necessarily trying to totally change up your rotations with mastery, but particularly for mages, haste does a pretty good job of that too already.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi. I'm Elena from IronGaming.com, and I'm currently working on the Insane in the Membrane achievement. Now, with all the changes to Dire Maul North, will I still be able to achieve this achievement in the Cataclysm?
The insanity? I'm sorry, it was hard hearing the question. The
Well,
insanity?
currently, the Insane in the Membrane achievement affects some of the factions that are located within Dire Maul North. Currently, you can't turn in any of the quests, or the Librams aren't dropping in beta. So I was wondering if you guys are planning on keeping it around and or changing the requirements for the achievement.
The biggest problem is the changes to the Bloodsail Buccaneers in Cataclysm. That kind of put a bullet in the head of that feat of strength for now. It's fun to do very painful things in World of Warcraft. If there's a huge outcry for it, we'll try to put something equally brutal in the game.
With the existence of Pandarans being hinted at here and there through quest lines, is the Cataclysm shaking up the world as it is going to bring them into the light anymore? Are they still going to be secluded away? I'm not asking for them as a playable race, but maybe as a neutral race we'll see?
I don't see them flying out of the cracks in the earth, if that's what you're saying. But we'll see. I mean, the Pandaren are a super cool race, awesome concept, and maybe it's something that we'll be able to see more of in the future.
I just meant like their home is on some secluded island. Is maybe like the goblins, their island was destroyed. Maybe the Pandarians suffered a similar fate, or sending them out, some of their members out into the world.
We'll have to see.
We'll see.
Engineers represent. As an engineer, I like that minivan idea earlier, but your other profession would have to be herbalism.